Welcome! Let's dive into today's summary in a storytelling style. Tom had always been the type of person to play it safe. He had a steady job, a nice apartment, and a routine that kept him grounded, but deep down, he knew he was destined for more. His dreams felt too big for his small corner of the world, and no matter how hard he worked, he couldn't seem to get ahead. Then, one evening, after a particularly draining day at the office, an ad appeared on his social media. Manifest your best life in 7 simple steps. Tom was skeptical. Manifestation? That sounded like some sort of new age nonsense. But something about the ad caught his attention. Maybe it was the fact that he felt stuck. Or maybe he was just desperate for a change. Either way, he clicked on it. And within minutes, he found himself reading about a process that seemed almost too simple. 7 steps to unlock the life you've always dreamed of. Tom's fingers hovered over the screen, as if he were about to make a decision that would change everything. With a deep breath, he committed to trying it. And that night, the journey to living his best life began. The first step was clarity. Tom had always assumed he knew what he wanted: a promotion at work, a bigger paycheck, a nicer car. But as he sat down to think about his true desires, everything felt hazy. He had followed the path that society told him to follow. Go to school, get a job, climb the ladder. But was that really his dream? He hadn't ever stopped to ask himself what he truly wanted beyond the surface-level goals. The more Tom dug into his desires, the more he realized that his true calling was to run his own business, to create something that would make a difference in the world. He didn't know exactly what that business would look like, but he knew it involved creativity, freedom, and helping others. This was the clarity he needed. For the first time in years, he could see his future with purpose and intention. With this new clarity, Tom felt energized. The fog lifted, and he knew exactly what he needed to work toward. It wasn't just about the things he thought he wanted. It was about living a life aligned with his authentic self. This was the beginning of something bigger than he ever imagined. The second step, visualization, seemed almost too simple to Tom. He had always believed in working hard and grinding it out, but the more he read, the more he understood that visualization was more than just wishful thinking. It was about programming his subconscious mind for success. Every morning, Tom would close his eyes, take a deep breath, and vividly imagine his ideal life. He pictured himself running his own successful business, waking up every day excited to work, and living a life filled with passion. At first, it felt uncomfortable. How could something as intangible as a vision make a real difference in his life? But as the days went on, Tom began to feel the shifts. The more he visualized, the more motivated he became. His mind started aligning with his desires, and even his actions began to reflect his new mindset. He felt more confident at work, more creative in his free time, and more open to new opportunities. The third step, gratitude, was one that Tom had always heard about, but never really practiced. He had always been someone who focused on what he didn't have, constantly striving for more. But in Roxie's book, gratitude wasn't just about being thankful. It was about genuinely appreciating every aspect of your life. Every day, Tom started writing down 3 things he was grateful for before going to bed. Some days it was small: a cup of coffee in the morning, a smile from a coworker, a quiet evening at home. Other days it was bigger: his health, his ambition, the fact that he had the chance to build something new. At first, Tom wasn't sure if this gratitude practice was making a difference. But after a week, he started noticing a change in himself. He felt lighter, more at peace. His mindset shifted from one of scarcity to one of abundance. He began to see the opportunities around him, and he felt more in control of his own happiness. Gratitude had a profound effect on his outlook, and it became a cornerstone of his daily routine. The fourth step was self-talk. Tom had never realized how negative his inner dialogue was. He often berated himself for not being further ahead in life, for not having the success he desired. But as he learned, self-talk was a powerful tool that could either propel him forward or keep him stuck. Roxie's advice was simple: change the way you speak to yourself, and you change the way you experience the world. Tom began to pay attention to his thoughts. Whenever a negative thought crept in, "You'll never make it," "You're not good enough," "You'll fail," he countered it with a positive affirmation: "I am capable," "I deserve success," I am on the right path. It wasn't easy at first, but over time, Tom's self-talk became more empowering. He found himself believing in his own potential in ways he never had before. His inner critic grew quieter, and his inner cheerleader grew louder. The fifth step was action. This was where many people got stuck, Roxie explained. It was easy to dream, to visualize, and to feel grateful, but without action, nothing would change. Tom had always been a hard worker, but now he understood that true action came from alignment with his desires. He no longer worked aimlessly or out of obligation. He started taking intentional steps toward building his business, learning about entrepreneurship, and networking with people who could help him along the way. But action didn't just happen in the big moments. Tom realized that every small decision was an act of manifestation. Whether it was reading a book about business, signing up for a course, or reaching out to a potential mentor, each step was pushing him closer to his goals. Action wasn't just about doing more, it was about doing what mattered most to him. The sixth step, letting go, was the hardest for Tom. He had always been a planner, someone who wanted to control every aspect of his life. But as Roxie explained, the process of manifestation required surrender. Let go of the need to control the how and when, and trust that the universe would provide what was meant for you. At first, Tom struggled with this concept. How could he just let go and trust when he had always been in control? But over time, he realized that trying to control every outcome only caused stress and frustration. He began to embrace the uncertainty and trust that things were unfolding exactly as they should. This didn't mean he stopped working hard, far from it. It meant that he could release the fear of failure and let the journey unfold naturally. The final step was receiving. Tom had always been reluctant to receive, thinking he had to earn everything the hard way. But manifestation was about accepting what was already available to him. Whether it was support from friends and family, opportunities at work, or even unexpected financial gains, Tom learned to open himself up to receiving with gratitude and grace. As he embraced the concept of receiving, Tom's life began to flow more easily. Opportunities came to him effortlessly, and he felt more aligned with his desires than ever before. He had learned that manifestation wasn't just about what you did, it was about who you became. And through the 7 steps, Tom had transformed into someone who was living his best life. Months later, Tom found himself sitting in a cafe, sipping coffee, and reflecting on how far he'd come. He had started his own business, and while it wasn't yet a massive success, it was thriving. He was working on projects that brought him joy, and his relationships had deepened. He had finally broken free from the mundane routine that had once defined him. Tom had manifested his best life, not by magic, but by aligning his thoughts, actions, and beliefs with the life he truly desired. And as he sat there smiling to himself, he realized that the journey was only just beginning. That's it for today's 10 Minutes Gold Mine. Thanks for your valuable time. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like and subscribe. It helps us grow and share more insights with you. And if there's a book you'd love to hear, drop its name in the comments. See you in the next one.